Welcome, children and parents alike. My name is Yannis Kalogerakis. In the coming minutes, we will discuss about how our mindset defines our future and how we train our body and mind. Many people asked me whether this will be a webinar about a certain age. No, it's about all ages, all children, the old and the young ones. We are also children, right? So take a look at the bees. You will see that they build these small hexagons like a copy-pasting. How do they do it with such a precision? It's not just about the bees in Greece. They do the same thing in Guadeloupe, everywhere. They do the same thing. It's amazing. Dolphins. Take a look at dolphins. So intelligent beings. They have higher IQ than many other humans, if you like. Dolphins are so smart. Octopuses. Maybe you know Paul the octopus forecasting football matches. Some people say that octopus represent aliens on Earth. So if you have a pet, you know what I mean. It's an amazing world, but they do not evolve. For millions of years, bees have been doing the same thing. For millions of years, octopuses and dolphins have been doing the same thing. The one who evolves, producing culture, is the human being. It's only us, humans, who can do that. Maybe you've seen this game, this online game. It's Cyber Life on Detroit exclusive. Maybe you've seen that. You see Chloe, a robot, an android actually. It's a computerized creature, a being. And I want to tell you that quite soon, these robots will be a reality. Now, they're part of a game. Tomorrow, they will be a tool for our household, for our job. It sounds like a bit science fiction, but this is the future world. Hollywood, quite often, tried to predict these things, to describe these things. Yeah, but a robot can carry out billions of calculations, yet, but there is one thing. I exist because of the intelligence of people. You programmed me. But there's also something that I don't have. A soul. A soulless thing cannot have a soul. But we do have a soul. A soul. When we cheer for our club, we have a soul. Have you seen Barcelona? We are more than a simple club. Més que un club, an idea, a company, a great dream, a big family. This is what Barcelona is about. Those of you who have attended a football match of this club, you know what I mean. Across the world, everybody talks about the team that comes together and achieves big things. Listen that. When we are all together, we make miracles. When we fight, we humiliate ourselves. Do you know what this journalist just described? Teamwork, which we all need, not just children, the parents as well. You know what the word team means. Together, everyone achieves more. So together, indeed, we can achieve more. When we work together, we can make miracles. Do you know how many seconds it takes for a crew and a pit stop to change the tires? A few seconds, right? So, for me, I tried that, okay? If there's a lady watching and they don't know, please pay attention to that. It's a nut, they tighten it. Actually, they have first to insert the jack. The jack lifts the car, 1 second, right? They loosen the bolt, 2 seconds. To take the tire out, 3 seconds, 4 seconds for the next tire, then tightening the bolt 5 seconds, 6 seconds to leave it go, and within 6 seconds they change the tires. You know that Ferrari team did it in 3, and now it's less than 3. It's in 2 seconds. Oh my God, how quickly is that? But in the past, this would take them lots of seconds. Now, we're talking about the 1950s. Right. 1950 in the Indianapolis 500. The car comes, and the guy has to change the tire. Check this out. There was no nut, there was a pin. So he had to use the hammer, a big hammer, and hammering down again and again until the pin comes out. so they can change the tire. So the same gentleman changing the tire has to complete that and then move to the other side to change the other tire. One might wonder, why don't they have two employees doing this thing? Two people. That's the outcome of teamwork. Okay, now we see it as the outcome. It's great. But in the past, they haven't thought of that. And it was just one guy on this side, then moving to the other side. You saw that? He moved to the other side to change the other tire with a hammer, back and forth, back and forth. As it turns out, he changes both tires and it takes them 67 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. 67 seconds. That was back in 1950, right? 2013. We are in Melbourne, and it took them 3 seconds. I will count in the American way. So, are we ready? The car is about to come. They're waiting for the F1 car. It's coming, right? Yes. And it's coming, and here it is, Mississippi 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, and it's off. 3 seconds. That's it. Within 3 seconds. By the way, the world record for the tire chains was broken in 2016, and this was 1.92 seconds. And in 2019, another team broke the record once again. Check this out. 182. 182. Oh my goodness, they're kidding. 182. 182. 182 for changing 4 tires. So what I wanted to tell you is this. These amazing achievements are the outcome of teamwork. The entire team worked together. They discussed, they examined things about the best thing to happen. I don't know if they will be able to break this record more, lower than that, but it's an amazing number, 182. So, whether you believe it, where you believe that you can do something, or you believe that you cannot do something, you are right. What do you believe? Can you do it? You can. You're right. You cannot. You're equally right. You have to believe. That's the important thing. I attended a webinar some time ago, and an amazing top player confided in us that when I was young, I was no good with my headers. You know who this guy was? Angelos Charisteas. Yes, the angel of our heart with a winning header in the Eurofinals, the person who gave us that amazing win with a header. Of course, he told us that it was thanks to 2 coaches who learned how to do these great headers. This amazing 2 coaches, I don't remember the names, were the ones he recognized for his achievement. And he kept the trophy high in the skies, and he hugged his coach, and he showed his ethos in this way. He showed us that someone can do many things just by trying and training again and again and again. And he also shared with us the following proposal, and I will show it in my seminars. The biggest talent in this world is to be able to keep your minds and your ears open and keep on learning non-stop from anything. Learn from whatever happens around you. That's the big secret. At the beginning, everything is difficult. The child goes there, should I have my feet like that? No, like that, how that, how? It's puzzled, but after a while, she trains more and more, and after a while, she takes off. And you see the dancer taking off. This is something valid for all sports. And you all know that nothing comes for free in this life. Sometimes, talking about ballet, you see how these dancers take off and they fly literally and say, oh my God, how do they do these things? But before doing that, it took them huge effort to take this flight. Nothing comes for free in this lifetime. There is a huge deal of effort. So, a human being has a lot of weaknesses, but also a human has strength. She's about to go auditioning. This is the jury. Oh my God. She's frozen. She's afraid. She takes steps back. She's about to enter the water. The water is cold. And she takes steps back. She goes to the fine art school as a model. Oh my God, they're about to see me naked and paint me. And she takes steps back. The report must go to the CEO. But if the report is wrong, what will happen? If she gets mad at me, I have to take steps back. She sees her boyfriend with another lady after coming out from the toilet. Oh, what does she do? She takes steps back instead of moving forward. What's the thing that enters our mind and frightens us like a wolf? We feel frightened. Move on. Rebuke that. You go into the sea. It's going to be warm after a while. Move on. Show your value. You're a model. You're about to show the jury that you're good. The CEO will not will tell you nothing because the report is right. Go to your boyfriend so that he's yours. Go forward to the wolf, and if you move forward, you will see that the thing frightening you was nothing but your imagination. It's a blue jeans ad from Spain, but anyway, what matters is that you have to be bold to move forward. Dare to go forward. If you Google it, dare to go forward. I'm a teacher in in a school. It's called the School of Nature, and they advocate the following. The step from I want to I can is very small. You just have to say, I'm not afraid. So you have to take this fear out of the way. I was watching my son playing football in various clubs, and in my family, we're not that tall. We're a bit short, right? And I saw him claiming a header between two huge guys. He jumped high to take the header, and he took it. That's the kind of audacity, boldness that you have to have in sports. Dare to go forward. Go beyond your limits. Painters have a great punchline. They say, if there is a voice inside your head saying you cannot do that, then you do it, and the voice will be silent. This is what painters say, but it's valid for everything. Go forward. Be bold about that. Let me also share a trick with you. I used to do it when I was young. I still do it. Okay, I'm a bit aged, but I can do it. Whenever the things get tough, I started singing the Manamam song. It comes from a very old TV show, The Muppet Show. It's the Manamanam song. That's what I used to sing. Manamanam. So find your own song. So when we went with the Ioannina Sports Association to Barcelona and played with their under-15 team, here is their coach, and we have had an interpreter, Ismini. Hello, my friend Ismini, and she told us that the coach said the following: there are humans less capable with less capabilities than you, and they do all the things that you want to do just because they believed in themselves and they dared to do so. Period. Period in the Spanish version, right? Period. This is it. They just decided to do so. So do the same. Be bold. Maybe you know the Star Wars franchise. It's an old franchise of movies. Maybe you remember Yoda, Master Yoda, saying to Luke, move on into the cave. Cave is the allegory of our fears. A very terrifying place, and he's afraid of entering the cave, taking the next step in his life. So what fears do we carry with us? Because we carry them with us when we try and achieve big. We carry our fears with us. When we were in Barcelona, I was watching the Greek guys from Ioannina playing with the under-15 team of Barcelona, the Academy of Barcelona. So they had their fears with them, the fears they used to carry with them from their coach, from their house, from the place. And you could see some players taking off. In the movie, Star Wars, I told you before, Luke didn't know what to expect in the cave. However, he went in. He carried with him his fear, his anger, and he dealt with them. You deal with whatever you carry with them. So what is out there for us? Nobody knows the future. Nobody knows. But we do move forward, no matter what there is in the cave. Luke undoubtedly was ready to deal with the dark side of himself, the cave, the challenge. It was just a step in his training in order to achieve big. What he found in the cave was the thing he was carrying with him, his fear and his anger. So if you want to move to the next step, then you have to leave these things behind you. And this is the great coach of the players. So you're about to play a difficult match, right? The difficult moment has to be dealt by means of what we have with us. Do we get prepared for the match? So every day we will have to enter different caves of difficulties. You have to enter the cave and move forward, regardless of the unknown challenges ahead. And we don't know them. And we carry with us whatever we have with us, our thoughts, our strengths. So if in every cave we are to face this challenge, then we have to bring with us the best of us, the best self of ours. The best of ourselves in order to deal with it. Maybe you know what I said before, the thing with Barcelona. Maybe you stumbled on that in the past. It was an amazing moment for all of us. And you know, many parents on the way back during the flight were wondering, are we born a talent or are we made a talent or great? I will tell you, a Picasso, a Dali, a Pele, and Alexander the Great is he born or made? If born, why not more than them? Why don't we have more than them born? Are they made? Why don't we have more than of them made? The reply is very easy. You don't have to Google it. The reply is, of course, they are made. All the people who achieved big, it took them thousands of hours of hard work. Nobody woke up, or no Dali woke up and said, I will paint like that. No Alexander the Great woke up becoming the great. No, his teacher actually was Aristotle. My teacher was Mrs. Vivi. Okay, put it aside. I wish I had an Aristotle. Who knows the big things I could have achieved? Let me tell you something. It can be done because one might say, what about the talent? This guy has a talent. He sits before the piano and he plays a masterpiece. He has a talent. Let me tell you something. We all have talents. You all have talents. Unless you train them, they will remain buried. Train your talents. It is the coach then to to polish the talent, and then you go out and achieve big. And everybody says he has a talent. No, it took him hard work. If somebody says, yes, I also worked hard, but I didn't make it, don't be let down. Don't be disillusioned. Maybe you have another talent in something else. We all have talents. There's an amazing balance in this lifetime. We all have something, a talent, and this is the role of the coach, of the parent, of the educator, of the teacher, to identify the talent and then give us a hard time, to educate us, ekpedevo in Greek. In this film, The Pursuit of Happiness, most likely you know it, the boy says, I want to become a pro. And the father says, wait. Okay, maybe we're a bit tall in our family, but we're colored, so maybe we become basketball players. So I tried, I didn't achieve big things. So don't be, disillusioned or disappointed. You might do great things, but not that. I tried and I failed. So, okay, yeah, okay. Okay, says the boy. So continue. He throws the ball away. And this is the magical moment that the thought occurs to the teacher, to the parent, to the coach. What have I just done? What have I just did? What have I just said? Apologies. He thinks and he says to the kid, hey, you. Don't ever let somebody tell you that you cannot do something, not even me, right? Right? You have a dream. You have to protect it. Go after it. Protect it. Those who cannot do something themselves, they say, sour grapes. Don't listen to them. You want something? Okay. Go get it. Go after it. Fight for it. So, I want to tell you something that I've learned, what you just watched in this great movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, is the fact that this scene has been written by the actor himself for his son. Maybe you know that this kid is the actor's son. He wanted to have this scene in the film as a future reference because, okay, he will be gone, but this will be a legacy. That his father told him something. Okay, it was part of the movie, but it was the actor's Will Smith's legacy to his son, because this kid is his real son. So he asked the director to accept this line, this scene in the movie. How lucky to be an actor having something like that. So yes, it can be done. Don't think that it cannot be done. Yes, it can be done. So I support that. I suggest that we can pick a thought instead of another thought. You have a negative thought. Okay, forget about it. Think of a positive thing. That's something you will need in your lifetime. The moment the negative thought occurs, think of a positive one. I remember my niece. He used to say, he was walking like that. Oh, my uncle, there might be a lion and behind me. Oh, where's the lion, the lion? And I told her, okay, then walk like that. Yes, but if the lion comes from the back, no, don't you worry, my love. Lions come from the front. I remember I told her when she was in the pre-grammar school, have you done something bad? Have you stolen something, or have you said lies? No, my uncle, I've never. So don't you worry. No lions will attack you. I was trying to tell her in a few words that she had to have this self-esteem and self-confidence. She was an amazing girl. And this applies to each and everyone. So next year, the same day, next year you would have wished you would wish you have started today. So our character is something apparent during a match. It's something that's being molded or built during a match. This is Creton. Okay, he suffered a foul. He was in pain. Oh my goodness, he fell down, crying in pain. Then the referee came close. He was sympathetic and he gave him a hug. And then the opponent, the player of the other team who received the yellow card, came close and they had a high five. This is the main thing. It's the character of Creton. He, although suffering in pain, he was the first to raise the hand for the high five, and I was so lucky to take a photo of that. I also remember that Creton was suffering a cramp, in pain, crying. After a while, he said, no, I will not compromise. He stood up and he took off. By the way, Creton, when he grew older, he became a very strong player, strong athlete, and he was granted a scholarship, both himself and his brother, for universities in UK and the US. Doors were open. So you struggle, you fight, and the doors are open. Yes. It's better having to pick between many doors, many open doors, instead of having them closed. So if you fight hard, the doors will open. Currently, he is in the US studying with a scholarship. Hello, my dear Creton. This is Spiridon, my godson. I remember he was sitting at the bench. He was so sad. And the coach came close. He told him a few things. He stood up, and every time he entered the pitch, I remember him. He was becoming better and better, stronger and stronger every time. He was taking some minutes off at the bench, and then he was becoming better and better within 30 minutes. He was completely different. Now Spiridon, of course, is a great lad. Here's a picture 2 days ago. He was doing skiing. Hello, my dear boy. So, the mind is a muscle, like all other muscles in a human body, and it takes some working out, some training. And I'm talking about positive thinking. This is the exercises practice. That's why we go at school, to train our mind. The connection between the mind and the body is something that may bring out training at another level. Whatever the mind believes and thinks of is what will define the future and the limitations of our body. What you think and what you believe in. When you understand that these things are one, if you've done some martial arts, you know what I'm talking about. This is how you can take off during your training. If you have a coordination between your mind and your body. And the teacher says, take this book. It's called reading. It's how people install new software into their brains. This is how we install new software into our brains, by reading. So, education, the education we receive at school, is what turns our potential, our abilities given to us by our Creator, no matter who He is, to our capabilities. Yes, we do have a potential, all of us, but unless we train that, and that's why we go at school, at the training, at the gym, at the university, whatever. Unless we train them, then we cannot turn our potential, our abilities into capabilities. In this lifetime, you are not born to lose or to win. You were born to make selections, to choose things. It's up to you to give your girlfriend a bouquet of flowers. You can give her nothing. It's your choice. It's your choice to listen to her, to give her a kiss, to give her a hug. No matter what you do, it's your choice. Maybe you know that I'm a trainer of business executives, and let me tell you something that we tell to all of them, and it relates to all of us. When you have a project, an assignment, when the coach, the manager, the parent assigns you to do something, maybe it seems like an elephant. Oh my goodness, how am I to eat this big elephant? You cannot do that in a lump sum, let's say. Do you know how many elephants you have eaten in your lifetime? You have actually digested them already. I wish I could give you a photo of them. Chickens, potatoes, bread, tons, mountains of food. If I could tell them to eat them, you would say, oh, it's too many. But you have already eaten them. You have digested them already. You have eaten them already. Do you know what the reply is? When you have a big project, and actually there's a book about that, How to Eat an Elephant. The reply is the following. You can eat an elephant, this terrifying thing, but by eating one bite at a time, bit by bit. Bit by bit. Nobody can take one bite and eat the whole project at once. You cannot stuff your mouth with the chicken, bit by bit. I describing you this very truth. It will take repetition to become a champion, to have the doors of UK universities opening for you. Like Creton, it will take training again and again and practicing. You know that in order to become an athlete and achieve big things, you need to train. That's the main secret. Continuous, ongoing training. And you have the expert, the coach, who will show you the method and the system, who will explain you how this is done. Have you seen the movie Karate Kid? Mr. Miyagi tells the students, you have to paint the fence up and down, up and down. But how? Up and down? All night long? Yes, you have to do it up and down, yes. You understand that this was a kind of an exercise to exercise his hand and his wrist. So the coach knows. Every time one complains because one does something again, it's in order to win. I remember our kids from Ioannina. Hello, Vasiliki, Kiki, my friends. I remember the kids from Ioannina when they went to play against Barcelona. They were so passionate, so looking for that. You know what they did? After kickoff, they scored a goal. Amazing, 0-1. We were so thrilled. I was taking photos. I was there accidentally with my son, and we were taking photos. 0-1. Greece taking the lead. And of course, the Spanish coach talked to his guys some stuff in Spanish. And okay, the match continued, and we conceded 8 goals. All right, so what? The kids had a great time. They gave their everything. And now, out of that passion, you may find many of them playing in top clubs. So what is the thing that when you find yourself at the limit, when the muscles can go no more, what is the thing that helps you take the extra mile? It is the mind. The mind can persuade your muscle to continue, to move forward. Yes, you can. The muscles, whenever they take a step, send a message to the brain. I need some oxygen, I need some fuel, but I want to continue. And the brain adapts or adjusts to that. So if we train our mind to adjust itself and to respond to these messages in a specific way, then we will be able to train more, harder. It's up to our brain, to our mind, to convince our muscles to go on. This is Sivos. I've seen Sivos being, oh my God, an amazing dribbler, well trained, fit. But the main thing, apart from the fact that he's a top student, the main thing about Sivos is his brain. His mind controls his strength. That's why the outcome of his physical training is something you can see on the pitch. When he controls the ball, he dribbles. It's the mind giving the order. So we all set the goals really high. Hello, my dear Alexandra. Alexandra has said in a book that the reason for setting a goal is not just to attain the goal, is to see the man I should become in order to achieve my goal. What should we do? Who should we become in order to attain the goal? It's not just about the goal itself. It's about thinking, what should I do on my way to the attainment of the goal? And this is all about the brain. It's up to the brain. The brain will bring us so high. This is my late grandmother back at the village. Anger, she used to say, it's like a glass of poison. You drink the poison and you expect the others to die. Oh my God, it can't be done. You drink the poison and you expect something like that. So every time you're mad at something, it's as if you drink poison. And you are hurting yourself. My grandmother used to say, my boy, no, there's no way two men can have a quarrel unless one doesn't want to. So be the one who doesn't want the fight. Be the one who doesn't want to have a quarrel. In Barcelona, through Ismini, our interpreter, the coach said that the third most important thing is for the kids to be good in dribbling and with their skills. The second most important thing is to be good students. And the first thing, the most important thing is, okay, they will have a fight, and then they will have to make peace. This is how teams are built. They have to give a hug, to have a high five like Cretan before. Sorry, my friend, to give a hug and say, my mistake. That's the most important thing. They will have to turn them into a team, to show care one for another, to feel that I'm here for you and you're here for me. I've seen a hero being decorated with some awards. Why did you do this great thing to save the other? I did so, he replied, because I believe that he would have done the same thing for me. This is what humans are made of in order to achieve big. And this is my late grandfather. He left me another legacy saying the following. My boy, when two people are having a quarrel, then it is the smartest to blame. Are you smart? Then it's your fault. I remember I went to the village coming from Athens, and he would go to my little cousins. Do you know that this guy from Athens knows how to bud a plant? He doesn't. Then he would go to them and say, you are the smartest, it's your fault. And then he would say the same thing to me. Do you know that these cousins of yours from the village know how to engraft a plant? You're the smart one, you should do it. So he would say the same thing. You are smart, so it's your fault. You can never fight someone who cannot understand. This painting is a very famous painting because it's about Alexander the Great talking to Diogenes. He was a bit of a cuckoo person. Anyway, Alexander the Great told Diogenes living in a pot, what do you want me to offer you? I'm the Alexander the Great, the king of Macedonia. What do you want me to offer you? You want new pot, silk, clothing, food? What do you want? And Diogenes told him, take a step aside. You're masking the sun. So don't deprive me of the things that you cannot give me. And if there's a parent attending, the phrase was aposkotison me in ancient Greek, meaning take me out of my shade, which means two things. Get away from the sun, I cannot see, and there's another interpretation that may be misunderstood. But what had this great cynical philosopher said? Something else. It's another part of his legacy, let's say, not just to Greeks, but the entire globe, for the entire world. This is a painting from the School of Athens. You can find it in Capella Sistine in Rome. The painter have painted Diogenes lying on the steps. He was a beggar, right? Begging for stuff. And actually Plato and Aristotle painted in the middle the main figures of the painting, told Diogenes, oh, come on, my friend, step up. You know, we have Plato, Aristotle walking around. They are begging. They're not begging. They are begging, but in a different way, and they call it sponsoring. I just call it begging. So Aristotle, Plato, all these great guys left us a legacy because When people told Diogenes, these two gentlemen are making fun of you, they're fooling you, because you live in a pod, you are cynical, etc. And Diogenes turned to them and said, okay, they're fooling me, but I cannot be fooled. What had he said? They are fooling me, but I cannot be fooled. My friends, I wish you will never be fooled because you cannot. No matter what others tell you, don't be fooled. They try to fool you, yes, but you cannot be fooled. They do that in vain. You've experienced that. And that's a very common picture. You can find it online. You see the guy with the gold medal, and he wonders, why is the guy in the third place having such a good time? Because it's up to you to decide how to feel, to decide your emotions. Happiness is a choice. Don't expect others to provide you with happiness. It's up to you to decide to feel happiness. It's up to you. And it's up to you to decide how to feel in every moment, in every single step of the way. It's not up to them it's not to something else to blame about your feelings. It's up to you to decide how to feel. Neurologists support that every time we resist to act when we are angry, then we strengthen our brain to become calmer, more capable, more caring, more powerful. To put it in English, physically we can modify our brain. When I read that this was something said by Aristotle, that by means of our actions, we can physically change our mind because new neurotransmitters are being developed, new synapses are built, and we do it. We do it. Because if you just stand like that watching the fireplace for years, you will not develop, you will not evolve. You evolve because you think. So we control our own fate, as I told you. We have the responsibility. Maybe you remember the Spider-Man movie. This is the last scene. With great power comes great responsibility, he said. Remember that from Spider-Man? That's the last scene. It was something that his late uncle had told him. With great power comes great responsibility. Are you strong? Are you capable of something? Then you have responsibility. You do not have power. So, I remember Spiridon when he was young, sitting at the bench. Oh, this bench. You cannot possibly imagine the fuss that many parents, the trouble that many parents create to coaches because their kids are at the bench. My beloved one, she knows who she is. She posted something from Facebook. It's a video from Thailand. It's called About Football, about this young guy who was sitting at the bench, but he was so into the match, because that's the real thing. He's at the bench, but he's not out of the match. While sitting at the bench, you have some amazing thoughts occurring. The bench might help you learn many things: self-containment, humbleness, discipline, patience, thinking. Because you are thinking at the moment, he did this, I could have done it better, why didn't he do it like that? This is how you activate your mind. It's not just about playing. Of course, you exercise your mind when you sit at the bench. We all have to spend time at the bench in order to comprehend certain things. I think many parents need to sit at the bench. And I will tell you something that most likely you know already. You know EQ, emotional quota? This is it. Never promise things when you're happy. Never give an answer, never reply when you are angry, and never take a decision when you are sad, because you will regret it. What I just told you is called EQ. Through Goldman's book on EQ, I will share with you an old Japanese fairy tale. Goldman reminds us of that. So, we have a warlike samurai, big samurai according to the Japanese story, challenged a Zen teacher to explain the difference between the paradise and hell. Okay? paradise and hell. At that moment, the monk, the monks normally are very cool, quiet, calm, in all religions, actually. So suddenly he turned to him, "What are you talking about? You are a poor guy. You mean nothing. Go away. Give me a break. Go away." And the samurai was, surprised by this reaction. So he went mad with this kind of reaction and these words. He took his sword and he was about to attack the monk. So with his ego so hurt, he shouted, "You old guy, I could have killed you because you are so impolite to me." And at that moment, the monk returned to him and said, "What you currently experience is hell." You just wanted me to tell you what hell is. This is it. The thing you just experienced, the feeling you just had. The samurai was speechless, amazed. It was such a big truth what the monk had just told him about the anger. So the samurai became serene, quiet, and although samurais never used to bend to bow, he took a bow before the monk for this knowledge. And at that moment, the monk turned to him and said, "What you now feel is paradise. What you are now feeling is paradise." So within 40 seconds, he explained the difference between the hell and the paradise. It has nothing to do with fire, with pain, etc. That was the difference. What I just explained about the EQ, and this is something that you can find within you, inside you, is something you can find in the greatest books published by Harvard Business School, saying the following: The Manual of a Manager, editions, Psychognos editions. You can find that and read it. I'm just giving you a more, let's say, illustrative depiction of these concepts. So the sudden understanding by the samurai of his anger made him understand the difference between one feeling and the other, because it's one thing feeling something and another thing being carried away by the feeling. And this is the keystone of EQ. This is the so-called to know thyself, according to Socrates, if you know that already. It was engraved on the temple of Apollo, according to the Delphic maxims. Maybe the older children know that. This is the foundation of success. The success of people. You have to understand, to comprehend the feeling the moment they are born within you and fight against them. This is what I meant with my title. Our mindset defines our future. That's what I mean when I say train our mind and our body in order to excel. Let me tell you something else in simple terms, like Socrates. So, a friend of his goes to Socrates and tells him, "Socrates, I have something to tell you. It's about a friend of yours. It's an important thing, but I heard it from someone, but I don't know if you really want me to tell you because he's a disciple of yours." So Socrates says, "I have the triple filter of mine. The first one is the filter of truth. Are you absolutely sure that you are going to tell me something that is true?" No, on the contrary, I'm not sure. I don't know, I just heard it. Okay, so you don't know if everything he said about my friend is true or not. You don't know if it's true or false. No, I don't. Okay. Second filter. Is what you're going to tell me good or not for this disciple of mine? It's the filter of goodness. Good? Of course, not at all. In fact, it's quite the opposite. So, Socrates said, you are going to tell me something bad, but you're not completely sure it's true. All right. The third filter is the filter of usefulness. So, is what you have to say about my disciple going to help me? So the guy said, useful, I don't know, I don't think so. So Socrates replied, you're about to tell me something which is not true, not good, and not even useful for me. Then why would I want to hear it? This is our legacy. It's the legacy of the entire world, actually, because Socrates belongs to the world. Do we filter all this information that we take in, given by others? Do we try to confirm this information? We're filled with hoaxes, with people telling lies. Do you know how to filter information before you start doing things, mad things, because of them? In our life, we will have good times and bad times. We train, we fight, and we make both ends meet. But every difficulty comes in a package with something good. Every difficulty brings both pain and a lesson. Every difficulty brings both the risk and an opportunity. The danger and an opportunity. What are you going to do? Banksy, the artist in this painting, was trying to say something about love, but it means something else. The girl lost her balloon, but because she lost the balloon, now she knows that she has to tie a knot around her finger in order not to lose it. Yes, it's painful, but now she learned something. So every time something happens, ask your brother, your friend, no matter whom, what have you learned out of that? Next time something bad happens, what have you learned? What will you do in a different way? So do these things, and one day you will become great managers, my friends, because that's what I teach in my management courses. So if you don't want to learn something, it's as if you are a volunteer in becoming unlucky. So you raise your hand, you say, hello, I want to be unlucky in life. Who wants to be unlucky? Who volunteers to be unlucky? So if you don't want to learn new things, to learn things and to learn in general, it's as if you want to be unlucky. You all know the so-called pyramid of Mediterranean diet. You all know that we eat meat once every month. Every week we have to eat legumes and vegetables. And on a daily basis we drink water, dairy, cereals, olive oil, and we work out every day. Physical training. It applies for everyone. And this is the Mediterranean diet, which we have passed down to the entire world. So every week we eat vegetables, some eggs, a little bit of sweet, and meat once every month. Say that to your parents. It's not about saving money, it's about saving your health. The important thing is about training on a daily basis, so you are healthy. So you know where it's the red light and the green light. Dinosaurs went extinct because the meteorites fell on Earth, right? No, there's another interpretation. They disappeared because they lost Noah's deadline. Was that today for the ark? Oh my God, I forgot that. What do I mean by this caricature? No more postponing. There's something to be done. Okay, do not defer it. Do not postpone it. It has to be a rule in your life. It's gonna help you have a great life. I will tell you something. I hope you won't be annoyed. It's part of our tradition. It's the old man Paisios, the Saint Paisios now. So a husband who was doing the dishes at home and asked the old man, "Old man, can you tell me who's the one who's supposed to wash the dishes at home?" Of course, the old man had no washing machine or dishwasher. And the old man replied, "The one who goes first." So be the example. Go first and wash the dishes. It's not a chore. Set the example for your young brother. Tell him, our mother is not the dishwasher, it's not a servant. We go first and do the wish the dishes. Apologies. Of course, this gentleman was not very happy with the reply. So we can learn many things from all religions. I don't know if you've seen the icon of Genesis. Firstly, iconography, has nothing to do with photography. Icons have a figurative function, let's say. Okay, it was a stone, tomb, etc. The angels have the hair in a specific way, like a ponytail for... Okay, I personally attending Sunday school. So in this Sunday church school, I learned what iconography represents. So I will tell you something about this bit at the bottom right corner. This is Joseph with a halo. By the way, the halo had nothing to do with a bulb, okay? There was no bulb around the head. No, it's just their aura filled with love. So a guy leaning on a stick tells him something. He is poisoning Joseph. He is casting doubt. Oh, a virgin with a son, how did this happen? Okay, Joseph was no father, he was the champion, the protector of the family. So he's poisoning himself, his mind. So this person casts a doubt. In Greek is diavalo, which means penetrate something in between. It has to do with introducing words into someone, which means diavoli. Diavoli, according to ancient Greek and Socrates. Diabolo in Latin. Devil. Maybe I sound like big Greek fat wedding, where everything comes from the Greek language. But in this case, we're talking about Greek etymology. It does occur. It's valid. So whatever you do, society will have their own way of commenting on it. So two people on a donkey's back. Oh my goodness, two guys. Actually, the society says the poor animal, both of them on the back of the donkey, unacceptable. If only the lady is riding the donkey, people will say, oh, he is mad, the guy is mad. He lets his wife take the ride alone. If he's riding the donkey, people will say, how cruel. He is riding the donkey and he's letting his wife walk. If they are both walking, society will say, people will say, they are fools. They have a donkey to ride and they're walking. So whatever you do, in all cases, they will have something to say. So, as I said before, it's our brain, it's our mind. We will struggle, we will fight, we will build our own story. It's our lifetime. My mother used to tell me, the neighbors will say, who cares what the neighbors said? Who cares? What about my own soul? The most important thing is to set the target, go for them, and attain them. In the context, of course, in the context of ethics. It's not just about the law. Okay, ethics is something big. The law is something small within ethics. Okay, it's the big context, the big box, and you have the law in it, which is something smaller. So in this context of ethics, you do stuff. This is Stephen Covey, who, amongst other things, had told me, John, anyone who stops becoming better non-stop, then he stops being good. We will never stop fighting for becoming better. This never stops. It's never ending. It's like riding a bicycle. If you stop pedaling, you will fall, right? Again, you have to keep on pedaling. Most likely you know that I'm a trainer of executives in businesses. So when somebody is a freshener at work, and what I'm about to tell you is the things we share with them during the induction course, when somebody comes in a business and we train them on how to work, how to behave in the company. So I turn to a guy, he just arrived, he was just recruited, okay? And I tell him, somebody believed in you. How do I know that? Because you are here, you have been employed, so somebody recruited you. So somebody employed you, he hired you because he looked in the eyes and said, you are capable of that, I want you next to me, come on board. Somebody loved you, your father, your mother. Somebody loved you in this life, right? Some might have paid for you to attend a camp or a university, college. Somebody gave their best efforts for you. One might say, I studied myself, I worked for my tuition fees. Yes, so you tried for yourself. So somebody hired you because he looked in your eyes and he wanted you in his team. You will be next to me. He entrusted you. Somebody loved you. And now that the bar has risen, will you prove these people right? The people who believed in you, the people who loved you, who gave their time, their effort, their best efforts for you. Will you prove them right? And every time I give that, I tell them to them, I also share this picture. So the young may reflect on that, because this boy doesn't have the right not to give everything because his father was barefoot in order for him to study. Okay, today we all have shoes. Okay, but that's an allegory. Okay, that's figuratively speaking. When somebody entrusts you to take a position, when somebody shows trust for you and assigns you a project, he gives you a responsibility. When you go to the Navy, this is called you are accountable. You get the stripes, not many stripes, but you are accountable. I remember in my time, I used to say, who's responsible? I am, I used to say, as if I was the admiral. So we are accountable. We have a responsibility. When you feel that strongly within you, then we can take off. I now want to say something for the boys. Maybe you know that. It comes from Italy. So, some kids and they ask them, we will give you $20 and we just want you to reply to some simple questions. How old are you? 9.5, 7, 8. What do you want to be when you grow up? A firefighter, a soccer player, a baker, a policeman, a pizza maker, a pizza maker. I love pizza because I dream to become an architect or to build a great home, great house. I want to save lives. I love pizza. Ah, and this is Martina. What do you like about her? I like her eyes, her shoes, her hands, her hair. Just the hair, I swear, says the last one. I love everything because she's so pretty. I want to be her boyfriend. Okay, now caress her. Okay, they're a bit embarrassed, but they do it. Come on, caress her. Martina, caress her a bit. All right? They do it, okay? They do it for the camera, of course. And now make a funny face for her, a bocaccia. Uh, a face. Make her smile. Do something funny. Ah! And now, slap her, schiaffo. What did you say? Slap her? A hard one. Slap her hard. Come on. Come on. No? No? Why? Why? No, no, I'm not gonna do it. But I'm paying you. Why not? Why? No. Why not? All the kids said no. Why? Because it's a girl. I cannot do it. Because we're not supposed to hit girls. Not even with a bouquet of flowers. Because religion says so. Because I'm against violence. Because girls shouldn't be hit. Not even with a flower. Because it's bad. Not even with a bouquet of flowers. Why? Because I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm not going to hit her because I'm a man. Kids know. Ah, may I kiss her on the mouth or her cheek? He says. Why don't you slap her? Because I'm a man. That's what a man is about. Some of you maybe you already know that we'll give a speech at the city at TEDx that will discuss about mothers, the things that our mothers teach us and what a man is about according to my father's teachings. So our behavior is a matter of choice. She grabs the chocolate bar and she runs. One kid says, okay, let's play. The other says, no, let's chase her down. 3 different ways of behaving, 3 different characters. You choose. You can run with a bar, you can chase her down, you choose to help her with a zipper. Every day we make selections, we choose how to behave. When my boy was young, he turned to me and said, Daddy, how can a man make a woman fall for him? And my reply was, my boy, you cannot make someone love you. What you can do and what you should do is to become worthy of being loved. So work with yourself. Don't try to do something. Don't try to do something on another or in another. Work with yourself and become worthy of love. It's not about doing something on someone else. It's about working with ourselves, becoming strong, and then things will happen. This is the meaning of goodness. Goodness exists in all of us. Opening the door, helping someone, giving a helping hand to someone who cannot do something on his own. That's something you will need in your family, in your team, in your life. injustice. It used to be part of life, it is and it will be. But how do you react against injustice? Amelie, taking photos. The clouds. A car accident occurs. The neighbor, it's your fault, you little girl, it's your fault. And he convinces her that she's the one causing the accident because he was taking photos, and he says, have I done that? And the girl decides, in France, Amélie, she decides to do something to get her revenge. One had said that if you want to revenge someone, you have to dig 2 holes. Come on. And she takes the antenna plug out on the right moment when he was about to listen to the goal. He was listening to the radio, but he was watching the man on TV, the match on TV. So, come on, oui, yes. Whoop. The plug is out. Injustice has been a part of life, it is a part of life, and it will be a part of life, always. The thing is, how do we react to that? What do we do? So we can build our character, our personality. And this is something that may be done by means of choices. Maybe you remember ancient Greek mythology. Hercules was at the crossroads. He had to make up his mind, the vice or the virtue. He had to pick the right road. The one was the difficult road to cross, but with happiness in the end. And the other one was the easy road downhill. So, vice and virtue, it's once again something figurative. Many painters use this theme, many poets, there are many books about that story, and Handel had composed an aria. Can you handle some aria? It's the music describing the difficult moment of Hercules, composed by Handel. Try to play this music, and if you are a bit older or if you are younger, if you like, listen to the music, you might like it. So Hercules is having a hard time because he's trying to make up his mind, and the composer describes the difficulty. We all find ourselves at the crossroads again and again. We have to decide this way or the other way, right or left. And we have to take the right decision. We have to make the right choice, and that's something that comes since ancient times. You make the choice, the right choice, which road to follow. And in the end, the aria ends with the chorus saying that virtue will place thee in that blessed abode. This is the end phrase. Actually, I gave you the beginning and the end of the aria. So I hope you will always select the right thing for you and for your team and your company. And before I close, let me give you the big secret. The big secret, which is something valid for all ages, all kids. The great secret is the following. You have to run, you have to play, you have to ask, you have to listen, you have to laugh, you have to learn, you have to read. You have to win, you have to lose, you have to make mistakes, you have to learn from your mistakes, you have to regret, you have to correct yourself, you have to apologize, you also have to do high five, you have to train in order to become better. When I was young, and this video I found it online, when I was young, I loved that video because when I was young, people would tell us to stand still, but I couldn't help it. I had to move. I have to dance. And I was dancing, and I remember my friends, like in this case, my friends used to tell me, stop moving, stop dancing, my friend, come on. No, I was doing things, I was doing gestures. You have no microphone. They were slapping me. No, I want to dance more. Stop moving like that, come on. Down with your hands, down with your heads. You have no microphone. Stop pretending. Stop dancing. Stop doing this thing. I was doing with my shoulders. I was doing gestures. I couldn't stop. They wanted me to be like a soldier, like a robot. I couldn't contain myself. I couldn't. So I wish to all of you, We are no robots, no statues made of marble. We are alive. We're human beings, alive and kicking. If you use your fingers to feel your pulse, your artery, if not, don't you worry, you're still alive, but you can find it. So, when you feel your pulse, you will understand something. Think that what you're feeling right now is your heart, yourself. You're alive. Feel it. Feel your body. This heart it's not plugged on electricity. No, it takes some good food only. So it works non-stop, 24/7. Feel yourself. Feel it. And when you feel yourself, do you know what I suggest? Celebrate it. It's a celebration. I want to celebrate that. I recommend that you celebrate that every day, like Jerusalem. You know Jerusalem? It's a celebration. So I wish you celebrate every day of your life. Do you know Jerusalem? If you know the Jerusalem challenge, then stand up. Mothers and fathers too. Stand up. Let's dance. Come on. Stand up. Come on. By the way, Jerusalem is a hymn to God coming from Africa, but they dance Jerusalem all over the world. Come on, don't be shy. Dance, woo, come on. Come on, dance, come on, more. Yeah, that's it. A big thank you to all of you for supporting us, for watching this. A huge thank you for staying so long, for watching us. I would like to thank all our communication supporters. Now, you can use the chat box to write your question, or you can email us. I will be really glad to reply to all your questions. Thank you very, very much. We will meet soon. Thank you.